Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and another video. Today, we are breaking down the feature premiere that San Diego studio put out with Ramon and Kyle Saw and some of the other developers on the new online co-op mode. This should be a really interesting mode. I think at launch it will be much different than it will be at the end of the game, but we'll kind of talk about that as we go. San Diego Studios video is about 27 minutes, as you guys can see on the screen. My breakdown of all of these is going to try to be about 10. This is for people that don't want to sit through all 27. I'll give you guys the breakdown of it. So I plan to do one of these after every single one, so hit subscribe if you guys are new. And yeah, let's just get into it. So this first week is about the new mode, online co-op. It is a 2v2 mode or a 3v3 mode online. You can play this mode with randoms or friends, and this is a part of the tech test that you can download on the Xbox Store or PlayStation Store on any old or new generation consoles, as well as Nintendo Switch, I believe. So the servers would have gone live this morning as I'm recording this, so you guys should be able to do that. Now, I should say, you are not able to play with friends apparently in the tech test, but you will be able to play with friends after full launch of the game. So, probably, unless you guys are good at sniping each other, not going to be able to play with your friends during the couple of weeks that the tech test is open. But again, during the launch of the game, release day, you should be able to play with friends. You cannot play against friends, though, even at launch of the game. You're playing against randoms every time, but you'll be able to team up with people that you know. Okay, so this is kind of what the screen is going to look like, and there's some stuff to cover here as well. So here they're going to play a 3v3 game, as you can see, and MLB Dev 1, I believe is what that says, is the captain. So when you guys are playing, and we'll try to find the screen where they show this in a little bit, you will play one part of the game per inning. So when you're on defense, we'll use the captain as an example. The captain will pitch first, and then he'll play the infield in the second inning, and then the outfield in the third inning, and then it'll rotate. So this guy here will maybe start in the infield, then play the outfield, then pitch the third inning. And this guy will maybe start in the outfield and pitch the second inning, and so on. So the roles transfer throughout the game when you're playing. I believe when you're batting, it just goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then if you get on base, you get to control the runner that you hit with. I'm not sure how that works if you have a runner on base and you're also hitting. Say you get a leadoff double and then your next two people strike out and then you come up again. I'm not sure. It wasn't super clear who would be controlling that runner on second in that specific situation, but that's kind of how it works. So defensively, your stuff rotates, and the captain role we should talk about, that's going to be like your leader. He's going to be the manager. He'll be a player manager, I guess is the easiest way to put that. The captain role does not change, and he also has all of the roster decisions to make. So when to pinch hit somebody, when to warm up a pitcher, when to take the pitcher out, when to take a new pitcher in. So he's got all of the roster decisions. He's got the lineup at the beginning of the game. He's got picking the starting pitcher. So the captain role does not change throughout the game. It is only the fielding roles that change. One other thing to say, at the beginning of the game, you're able to change who's the captain. So whoever like starts the party amongst your three friends or three randoms, I guess, will automatically be the captain, but you are able to transfer captaincy to another player if you're like, I just started the party, I don't want all this responsibility. You can move it along to say cat dude. Okay, unrelated to co-op, but something they did mention, they changed the altitude of Ship It Stadium. It used to be in Denver altitude. It now is lower, so the ball should fly less, thank God. So you're going to have to play at a different ballpark if you want to grind affinities or if you want people to hate you in ranked. Okay, so here's kind of the screen I was talking about earlier. So when you're pitching, you have control of both the pitcher and the catcher. And so then another player will have responsibility of every infielder that is not the pitcher or catcher. And then the next player will have responsibility of all of the outfielders. and that will rotate inning to inning. You'll also be able to tell what role you are here in the top left. So that'll be like your PSN or your gamer tag or whatever they call it on Nintendo Switch. You can see red is pitcher catcher, blue will be the infield, and yellow will be the outfield. That will be more apparent when you have like it on your screen. You'll be able to see it a little bit better. But you'll be able to tell if you're like in the middle of an inning and you're like, crap, I'm not pitching, but I don't remember if I'm infield or outfield. You'll be able to check quite easily. Okay, you are also able to chat. So right here, as you guys can see with my cursor kind of circling it, there's a chat option that will give you a bunch of different things. It will like, if you press the middle button on your controller, I still have a PS4, but it would be like that middle button, the touchscreen. It will pop up a bunch of chat things, kind of similar, I gather, if you guys kind of play like Call of Duty maybe has that kind of thing, or like Fortnite does. You're able to chat with your teammate if you don't have a microphone. So you can do pitch suggestions, you can give lineup suggestions, you can say, hey, I'm stealing, whatever. You can throw out a fire emoji if your pitcher's dominating. You can throw out a poop emoji, I think, if your pitcher's not dominating. Yeah, so there is a chat feature built into the game. And also, I will talk about there is a voice chat feature into the game. You won't have to be in a party to talk to your other players. So it's actually an in-game chat, which means that you can talk from PS4 to PS5, you can talk to PS5 to Xbox One or Xbox S or Nintendo Switch. So the game chat works cross-console. I should say before we get too deep into the video, co-op is good for online versus. There's also a way to do it in Diamond Dynasty, which we will talk about later. I forgot to say that in the intro, so I'm saying it now. Okay, when you are batting, if you're like, man, I'm not sure who's batting, gamer tag or PSN, Nintendo Switch name, whatever will be up here. Whatever your account name is will be here. And then there'll be a batter, little emoticon, I guess we'll call it, right here in the corner to let you know that you're batting. And then I believe these are in order, which means Dev Test 3 would be up next, and then MLB Dev 2 would be third, and then it switches back around. So if you get on base, say this guy gets a hit, I believe that's Muncy hitting. If Muncy gets a hit, MLB Dev 1 still is controlling Muncy at first base while Dev Test 3 will hit. Okay, so now you can see Dev Test 3 is now hitting. MLB Dev 2 is running, because you can tell by the emoticon. Dev 1, I guess, would be on deck in this situation. That's what it kind of looks like. If you're like, man, I don't know what I'm doing, just kind of give the top left of the screen a look. Okay, move my face cam for this one. This is kind of an example of what the chat option will look like when you press that chat button. You have quick chat, keyboard, emojis. You can type stuff out. You can send an emoji. You can send quick chat, which is very similar to Rocket League. This is kind of what that interface will look like, and it's pretty intuitive on how to use it, I think. All right, let's talk about co-op now in Diamond Dynasty. So they first played an online versus game. That's with the live series rosters, I guess is what we would call that. You can also play a co-op Diamond Dynasty game. In this example, they went 2v2 to show off. The first one was 3v3. Now they're showing off 2v2. The captain role works the same way. You guys rotate. I believe the only difference is instead of having only infield, if you're not pitching, you have infield and outfield, and then it's still pitcher and catcher for whoever is pitching. The captain role stays the same. It's all very similar, but instead of pitching every third inning, you pitch every other inning, and then you're in the field the other innings. But let's talk about how this is unique to Diamond Dynasty. So the live rosters, obviously you're using live rosters. With Diamond Dynasty, you're able to kind of assemble a roster, and you're able to pick players from each of your teams. So say the captain here has a 99 overall Ryan Howard, and you want to use him. He can pick Ryan Howard, and he is not the only person that gets to use him. So if you pick Ryan Howard, the other player, if he ever has to bat with Ryan Howard, is allowed to use that Ryan Howard. And also, because of how the prestige system works, that appears to be making a return. If you both have, say, a 99 overall Ryan Howard, and we'll say Dev Test 3 here has Ryan Howard at Prestige 5, and MLB Dev 1 only has him at Prestige 1, it goes by whatever version of Ryan Howard y'all picked. So if you pick the Prestige 5 Ryan Howard, both of you will bat with that Prestige 5 Ryan Howard. If you pick the Prestige 1 Ryan Howard, both of you will bat with the Prestige 1 Ryan Howard. So it is not, you don't go to your version of Ryan Howard if you both have the same card. You go to whosever card you picked. Okay, so this is really important. When you play 2v2 in Diamond Dynasty or 3v3, when you're creating the roster, a screen like this will pop up. You're allowed to pick 3 position players in this example in 2v2, and you're allowed to pick a starting pitcher and 2 relievers. And those can be any from your collection. The other player cannot pick the same person. So if you have an 85 Ryan Howard here, say there's a 99 Ryan Howard as like the overall collection that another player has, you can't have 2 Ryan Howards on the same team. You must pick one, and you're only allowed 3 position players per person, 1 starting pitcher per person, and 2 relievers per person. The rest of your roster will be constructed of live series silver players, just at random. Here's kind of the breakdown of it. 2v2, you get 6 cards each. 3v3, you get 4 cards each. So both of those work out to be, your team gets to pick 12 cards. There is a number of position players, 3 position players for 2v2, and it is 2 position players for 3v3, and then the rest is some version of pitchers. It'll make sense as you guys would go. The little screen where you select the pitchers and hitters and stuff. Okay, again, this is what the lineup screen will look like. Pretty standard throughout most MLB The Show games. The captain has to set the lineup. So whoever the captain is at the front end, again, the captain role does not rotate. He gets to set the lineup. That is true in Diamond Dynasty co-op, and that is also true in like regular online versus co-op. Okay, important. You can play with friends. You cannot play against friends, at least at launch of game. Your opponent will always be random, and I believe it is skill-based matchmaking. So it will be somebody theoretically at around your skill level, at least as the game progresses. At the start of the game, it's going to be such a crap show because everybody starts out even. But as the game progresses, skill-based matchmaking will have more of an effect, and you should be matching with people who are theoretically your skill level-ish. Okay, couple last things to touch on here. At launch of game, there is not going to be a competitive mode. This is going to be a for fun mode at launch of game. They want to make sure that it works. For DD, there are no rewards at launch. They did allude to by the end of the game, by the time they have figured out all the kinks and stuff, there will be rewards, and there will be good rewards, they said. But at launch of game, there will not be rewards because they want to make sure it works before it becomes a competitive mode. The MLB is right around the corner. Super excited. And that's going to be pretty much it. Next week, gameplay. So hit subscribe for gameplay. And now I will actually be right back.